universe. And we all have the ability to tap into our deepest dreams. You can learn and grow at your own speed and build a business based on your own needs. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Why do we wait until tomorrow when we could do it today? Step out of your comfort zone and take a leap of faith. You can learn and grow at your own speed and build a business based on your own needs. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Bedrock bookkeepers rocket from their home. Bedrock bookkeepers make it on their own. Bedrock bookkeepers living in the zone. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family. Well, I bet you didn't know you could make money from your home and take control of your security. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that you could make it on your own and take good care of your family.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday morning. I think marami sa atin medyo sleepy pa yata, tulog pa. So medyo let's give time for other people to come in. I think some of are lost with the link. But good morning, everyone. Are you ready? And thank you so much for showing up this early Saturday morning. Okay, so if you are here, kindly share the link for those people you think na magbe-benefits sa ating topic. It's so interesting and I'm so honored and happy again that Mr. Eric say yes to our community. And napakagaling ng ating speaker for today. If you will see his profile later, I will share with you the profile of Mr. Eric Diego de Dios. Okay, are you ready? Pa-type in naman if you're ready. I would like you to introduce our guest speaker for today. This is Mr. Eric Diego de Dios, is a distinguished human resource practitioner with over 25 years of expertise in national, regional, and global leadership role across various industries. Completing his degree as the top psychology graduate from the University of the Philippines, Mr. Eric pursued advanced studies at prestigious institutions including Ateneo, La Salle, Universidad Complutense de Madrid, and Universidad Politécnica de Madrid. His profound grasp of business partnership, talent management, organization development, and human resources analytics has propelled his as a pioneer in the shared services sector. Eric advocacy for people analytics and engagement has led him to keynote speaker role across Asia and Europe. Notably, he chaired the Global In-House Center Council GICC, Philippine Human Resources Committees, and the IT and the Business Process Association of the Philippines or BIPA, IPAP, Capability building community, shaping the landscape of high value creations in the country. His contribution has garnered accolades such as Global Excellence Award and the Golden Standard Award for Culture Creation. Recognized as one of the Philippine most talented and top most human resources leaders and one of the Southeast Asia top HR influencer. Eric achievements underscore his status as a driving force in fostering innovation and creativity with organizations worldwide. This year, he plans to step on the seventh continent Antarctica with his wife of 21 years old. And of course, one of my fellow top 100 Filipinos on LinkedIn. Without further ado, Mr. Eric Diego de Jos.
Good morning, everyone. I hope that you can hear me. Thank you so much, Yan Yan, my fellow top 100 on LinkedIn colleague and comrade. This topic that we will be discussing this morning is very close to my heart because as an HR practitioner, I really wanted to make sure that we establish credibility, that we establish a lot of trust in becoming real trusted advisor to our clients. I know that most of you are in the financial profession, accounting profession, auditing profession, but there is a lot of overlap in terms of in HR or whether that will be in finance or accounting because I personally believe that we are all advisors, right? Or we are all in a way, may I say, consultants in many ways than one. So the initial topic was really becoming a strategic business partner. But I also thought that being a strategic business partner is really synonymous to becoming the very trusted advisor in any organization. I hope that you can also relate because sometimes being trusted is the time where it rises or it falls on the trust between the relationship of us to our clients, no? So essentially, for those of you who have actually read the book The Trusted Advisor, it's great because you will have a refresher in terms of again understanding and reviewing the main concepts of the trusted advisor. And this is written by David Meister, Charles Green, and Robert Galford. So for those of you who have not read this yet, no, guess what? This is a great opportunity for you to actually start understanding the concepts, the foundation, and how you can actually apply all of these concepts from becoming a trusted advisor to your work, especially now that you're actually working in a remote setup for most of you, if not for all of you. So, trust is a very important element that would benefit each and every one of us. And guess what? Regardless whether that is in work, regardless whether that is just in your community, like the top 100, for example, uh, you can use all of these concepts that you would learn. So whether that is in your village community, whether that's in your parent-teacher association, or especially in your work, most of the concepts that you would actually learn from this, and even if you have spouses or if you have partners, in life, that is also applicable. So I'm very excited to share with you. This is relatively very short, but very jam-packed in terms of wisdom and nuggets of information that we could really apply in the real world, no? As I've mentioned, as part of medyo inubunga ako kanina nung sabi niya 25 years. So sabi ko, grabe, 25 years. Actually, minimize ko na yan because I'm really approaching close to 3 decades of practicing HR, no, in the industry. So I've been to many industries, hindi na na-enumerate ni yan, but if you're familiar with DHL, for example, of course, you know DHL. You also probably know Amcor Technology Philippines, which is a manufacturing organization. In the financial world, I also am exposed to Citibank, for example. I'm the first general vice president for HR operations in Asia Pacific, no, covering 16 countries. And then I'm sure sa mga susunod familiar din kayo, no? So from Citibank, I went into Globe. So I'm sure some of you are actually using Globe as your preferred mobile number or even your broadband account. And then I went into IBM, Baker McKenzie, and to many other BPO and even startups. No, so I can really relate for some of you who are working on a remote setup because I'm also working. I used to work as the global vice president for HR in one of the startup organizations and basically focusing on a virtual setup. So talagang hindi ko nakikita yung mga taong that I worked with, hindi ko nakikita yung mga empleyado ng kumpanyang yon. So it's very important for me to really establish my credibility and make sure that there is trust in every interaction. So biruin mo yon, kung hindi kayo magkikita, it's easy for them to think differently of your intention because you cannot immediately correct, di ba? Dahil hindi kayo nagkakasalubong sa corridor, hindi kayo sabay kumain sa lunch, hindi kayo sabay magmerienda, at kung may mga small misunderstandings, hindi nyo kagad ma-correct, no? Hindi mo kagad mapupuntahan sa area niya, no? Uy, pasensya ka na, nagkamali ako in terms of my approach, or pasensya ka na, medyo na-misquote kita, and so on and so forth, and vice versa din, di ba? So it's really difficult, and that's why as advisors, as internal consultants, it is really important for us to establish ourselves as trusted advisors. No, so I'm very excited. I hope that you are seeing my energy because this is something that is close to my heart, and I hope that I would also try to enkindle the same passion, no, that I'm feeling about this book and this concept. No, by the way, I would like also to introduce my colleague in my organization, Marco, who will be driving our presentation and also our Mentimeter. No? So we will be doing a lot of, not naman so much, but a lot of interaction through Mentimeter surveys. And I hope you will also join me because we're investing time. And I believe that learning is not just me talking about what I actually know, but also interacting and leveraging how you can apply this in your respective workplaces, no? Whether that is virtual or on-site. All right. So Marco, please move on to the next slide, please. I know that Yan Yan already introduced me, but this is me as enhanced by AI, as you can see. So, but that is me, no? So medyo polish lang siya ng AI. So we use a different application here. So yeah, so enough of me. So you can also get a copy of this from Yan Yan and team, so you could reference as well some of the concepts that we have discussed in depth. No, so this is me personally, but I would also like to introduce my organization. More than me, probably about 2 years ago, in September of 2022, we established what we call the Riego de Dios Consulting. So, by the way, for some of you, I know that it's tricky, no? So my name is really Eric. So if you call me, just call me Eric. Sometimes they confuse Riego as my second name. So no, in fact, my surname is Riego de Dios, no? So buong buo siyang Riego de Dios, and my first name is actually Eric. So Eric, normally na-associate siya sa Nordic terms as prince or nobility. And then as you know, Riego de Dios is Spanish in nature, and its meaning in English is waterway of God. Yan. So parang ang ganda, no? Pag nilagay mo yung Eric, Riego de Dios, parang it means the Prince of the Waterway of God. Yan. So, yon. So, na-establish namin yung firm ko about 2 years ago, but I did not really jump into actual active operations of the firm because I was still fully employed during that time. So, just last September did I actually activated this, and that's the time that I also engaged Marco to be one of my staff in my firm. So that is the start of my own entrepreneurship as well, no? Much like Yan Yan, no? So we're approaching our actual first year of active operation. So if ever there is a need for HR consulting, because I would actually like to position ourselves more on the consulting side, and training is just and speaking is just one of the other services that we actually provide as a response to the consulting that we actually do. And so if you need any professional development, coaching, mentoring, we're happy to provide services to you as well. All right. So having said that, let's move on to the main topic. And the topic really is, and if you are familiar with that book, the book is really called The Trusted Advisor. Bakit importante yung book nito? Because for me, the book really emphasizes the key to success in many of us, no? Hindi lang to sa consulting, even if you're really working as a normal employee, as long as there is a relationship between an organization, between a client and yourself, and even between spouses, sabi ko nga, in any organization or association, even outside of the corporate world, it is important for us to really display a lot of partnership and the qualities that go with a strong partnership. Yeah. So it provides practical advice on how we can become real trusted advisors by focusing not only on the services that we deliver, but also in relationship building. Tama po kayo. So, natignan nyo, no? So, it's not just about transaction. No? So, kasi, ang ibig sabihin ng transaction, if you will pay me this much, I will also provide you services this much. Yan yung napagkasunduan natin. So, tama lang na if you give me X, I also give you X. If you give me Y, I also give you Y. Pero sabi sa book na to, it is actually beyond a transactional level. Diba? It is really rekindling the passion for mutual success. No? If you care enough for your clients, and if you care enough for your clients to succeed, babalik at babalik sa atin. Di ba meron tayong kasabihan sa Pilipino na kung anong itinanim mo, yan ang yung aanihin. Di ba? So, totoo yun. No? So, if you invested a lot of effort, time for your clients to succeed, and because client mo siya, yung success niya would also be reflected on you, no? So this is really not necessarily being really focused on the client, but there is also an inherent benefit for us to help our clients succeed. Because any success that our clients would actually get would also be reflected, not only reflected, but probably not only trickle down, but probably amplified. So together we all become successful from one level to the other. So that is what the trusted advisor is actually sharing with us. No? So if you don't have a copy, I advise you to really read this if you really want to go deep dive into the learnings. However, the learnings that you will actually get from there, actually we have actually condensed already here, and then you can just get a copy from Yanyan and team. Okay, so hopefully that would help you as well in your journey of even becoming an even more trusted advisor or consultants. So sabi ko sa inyo, no, so we will be doing a lot of Mentimeter interactions. So for our very first Mentimeter, so for those of you who have mobile phones though, already try to get your mobile phone. Go to mentimeter.com or www.menti.com. Wait for the code, and you can also scan the QR code here. Ayan. So do scan the QR code. And my question here, our question, and you will have about 3 options to pull in, no? So just encode. When we talk about becoming a trusted advisor, what do you think? Or a trusted strategic partner, kasi pareho lang naman yan sa paningin ko. When you think about a strategic business partner, when you think about a trusted business advisor or qualities of a trusted advisor, what comes to mind? Yan. So ano ba yung mga qualities, ano yung mga characteristics that actually you think of, di ba? Ano yung sumasagi sa isip nyo when we talk about trusted advisor? So please participate because I would like to also understand where you are coming from. What are the thoughts that are running through your head? Ayan, meron na tayo. Credible. Tama yan, no? So kung hindi ka credible, definitely, no? It is really hard for us to really gain trust if we are not able to put something on the table that is really worthwhile, no? If we are not providing expertise. Yan. Sino pa kaya? No, alam ko madami tayong mga participants yan. Honest, for sure. A lot of integrity, no? Very good, no? Although may nakikita din ako dito sa ating chat group, no? So si Dexter sabi open-minded, no? Dexter, try to encode that in our encode that in our Mentimeter para ma-capture natin yan lahat kasi ito pwede nyo actually makuha din to sa amin. We can download all of your responses so that you can review this later on. And then sabi din ni Lourdes, no? Organize. Yan. And Maria is also saying good listener. Very important yan. We will be talking about all of those things that you're actually mentioning. Okay? So yes, please try to ano, ayan, yun, we're gaining a bit of traction. It's very good kasi madami tayong questions that we will be asking you. So make sure that you don't close, don't close your window because we will go back to this later on. Okay? Good. So effective communication, very important. Medyo ano lang siya, no? Kaakibat siya ng being a good listener, right? So dependable, there is integrity, kasama doon yung honesty, responsible, active listening, open-minded, convincing, yan, the act of influencing. Effective communication, very important. And may sabi ni Eileen, mindset, no? Mindset, definitely mindset, no? But what exactly, di ba? Kasi pwede kang negative mindset, pwedeng positive mindset. So what do we mean by mindset, no? So pwede din yan, no? May sinabi kasi kanina na open-minded, no? So pwede natin yung pagsamahin, di ba? Ganun ba yung mindset that we need to become a trusted advisor? Empathetic. Alam niyo ba yung concept of empathy? Sabi ni Luz dito, no? Very important na siya nowadays. So kung wala kang empathy, you will not be able to actually listen. Listen well. Yung sinasabi ninyong ano, yung active listening, that will not work if there is no empathy, right? So very important yung empathy. If you're not able to really understand your client, then for sure in the long term, you will fail as a consultant or as an internal consultant and you will never become an actual partner. Very good, no? So, ang dami nating nakikita dito, no? So, parang walang masyadong reflect, no? Sabi dito, pogi. No, good yun. Magandang ano yun, no? So, for sure, no? Pogi or maganda. Although sa una, pwede ka agad na mag-build ng magandang perspective or impression yung pagiging pogi, maganda, mabango, no? But those qualities actually are very short-lived, no? So after 1 hour or one day meeting, yung kapugian, kagandahan, kabanguan, medyo nawawala kung hindi ka masyadong magaling as an actual consultant if you're not able to deliver the expertise that is required. So maganda yun. Magandang input yung pagiging pogi, pagiging maganda. But kung hindi yan nasisigundahan ng galing, ng talino, ng dedikasyon, ng dependability, definitely, yun, very short-lived ang pagiging pogi. Yan. Sympathetic person. Very aligned siya sa pagiging empathetic as well. Very good. All of those are very important. All of those are real valid input. Definitely. So, sa pag-uusapan ba natin ngayon, ano-ano kaya yung mga magre-repeat o ano-ano kaya yung makikita ninyong qualities, no, in the succeeding slides. So, dito nakikita natin na madaming umuulit. Ang umuulit dito right now, dependability. Dependability. So, aanuin mo talaga yung kagalingan, yung eksperto, pero hindi mo siya maaasahan sa oras sa pangangailangan. Pagtatawagan mo, hindi nagre-respond. Pag-i-emailan mo, 2 days, 3 days na, wala pa ring response, no? Yun, sometimes nagkakatalo talaga sa dependability. Tama yung observation ninyo. Again, yung kapugian, kagalingan, medyo nawawala siya pag hindi ka nandun sa oras ng pangailangan. Where in times that matter most. Yan. Sabi nga nila, moments that matter. Yan. Yan ang define talaga ng tunay na strong relationship that is built on mutual trust. Yan. Tama lahat ng mga input ninyo, no? So, very good. Thank you so much for obliging us. So definitely, madami sa mga konseptong shinare ninyo ang papasadahan natin, ang dadaanan natin later on. Okay? Very good. Thanks for all of your input. All of those are valid and very important. In the next few slides, we'll be focusing on the three key lessons that you will pick up from the book. And the first key lesson is trust is fundamental. And in any business relationship, in any consulting relationship, in any service relationship, it will not foster, it will not progress, it will not become successful if there is no trust. Yan. So, bakit importante ang trust? So, sa isip natin, talaga naman, syempre, Eric, ano ba pinag-sabi mo? Talaga importante ang trust. Pero, linawin natin at let's deep dive. What do we exactly mean that trust is fundamental and foundational in any relationship? No? So, unang-una, trust is the cornerstone of any advisory relationship. Sabi natin, Kung transactional lang yan, kung bibili ka lang sa karinderya, kung bibili ka lang sa any department store, bilhin mo yan, magbayad ka, tapos yung transaction. Tama? However, doon sa relationship where you offer continued service, when you offer kind of perspective or an advice, okay, hindi madali na mag-rely ka lang sa any transaction, okay? Kasi magkikita at magkikita kayo. Aalamin niyo yung pangangailangan. Aalamin ninyo kung paano kayo magiging mutually successful. Tama? So kung walang trust doon sa relationship that you're establishing, hindi magfo-foster, hindi magpo-progress, at hindi magbubunga ng success ang inyong relationship, right? So again, if it's just a transaction, yeah, forget about trust. But if you are banking on a long-term strategic relationship, there has to be trust. And you have to exert a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of pain, a lot of even sacrifices so that you're able to build trust. Sometimes nga magbibigay ka ng concession eh. Sometimes magsa-sacrifice ka. Sometimes magpapalugi ka ng konti. Sometimes mag-overtime ka kahit walang bayad just to make sure that you're able to deliver on the trust that your client requires. Tama ba? So napagdaanan ko din 'yan kasi as a consultant you also do that, eh. Kahit minsan walang bayad, 'di ba? Kahit minsan, hindi ka susuklian. But if that would actually win the trust of your client, it's a great investment that would pay off in the long term. So tayo dapat hindi lang tayo immediate gain, hindi lang tayo yung, looking at the short term. Dapat ang perspective natin dito is very strategic and very long term. That is what we meant by trust is the cornerstone of any advisory relationship. I hope that you can all relate because for one point or another, napunta kayo in this kind of situation where you just really have to build on trust na kahit sa umpisa parang walang masyadong balik sa inyo, but you want to make sure that this relationship will foster in the long run, then we are able to take accordingly some investments on personal time, personal effort, and even sometimes even personal financial investment as well. Okay, so that is the first bullet about trust is fundamental. The next one is trust grows over time and it's both rational and emotional. What do we mean by that, no? Sabi nga natin, we're not talking about short-term gains here. We're talking about a long-term partnership, a long-term relationship, no? So isipin natin, when we talk about the rationality, when we talk about rational, what do we mean by that? We mean dapat logical, di ba? Dapat it makes sense, no? So from a business standpoint, dapat talaga rational and logical ka. Kasi hindi mo naman talaga din gusto maging lugi, 'di ba, sa relationship na 'yon. Correct? So dapat rational ka and you're able to put some parameters in terms of what you can give and what you cannot give and what you can invest at this point, even at the point of hurting a bit, right? Na may konting kurot. Pero maglalagay ka lang din ng hangganan. Rational ang ibig sabihin natin doon. Ano naman ang ibig sabihin natin emotional? So when we talk about emotional, hindi lang nga siya transactional. Parang may nabubuo ka na in a way affinity sa iyong kliyente. No, hindi, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the romantic relationship, of course, far from that. But you know that you are invested in a way in the client's success. Tama ba? So if you get even in a very professional way, you want to make sure that your client will succeed. And kung magfe-fail yung client mo, may kurot din sa'yo. Kasi of course, that's not what you want, di ba? You want your client to succeed because their success is your success. If you see that your client is prospering, succeeding, may tuwa, may inner joy, di ba? Nararamdaman ka because you are emotionally invested as well. So, pag nakikita mo yung kliyente mo wala kang pakialam, tanungin mo yung sarili mo, are you emotionally invested enough? Baka hindi po-progress at hindi na-enhance yung relationship because you are not as empathetic as you have mentioned earlier, no? You're not as empathetic as you should be. Hindi ka pa emotionally invested na kahit malugi sila, wala kang pakialam. So that should not be the case, di ba? So dapat invested tayo because you want all of your clients to succeed. And when they succeed, for sure, maganda yung balik sa atin. Okay? So that's what we meant by being logically or rationally and emotionally invested, no? And we know that all of these can only happen just like trust. Hindi siya overnight. Nare-refine siya, namo-mold siya through time. So it's very important for us na sometimes nga, 'di ba, kahit medyo nalugi ka or medyo nag-away kayo sa umpisa, but you know that in the long term, this would really make both of your businesses successful. You will still be there because you are there for the long haul, no, not for the short-term benefits of it. Okay? So that's why you need to really invest in trust. Number three, trust involves perceived risks. Ayan. Very important 'to, 'no? So, may mga pagkakataon ba kayo na sinasabi niyo na, "Okay, medyo maliit pa 'to pero very promising," 'no? At saka, "I believe in the purpose of this, and of this client or of this business," 'no? So, sometimes talaga you will support the business and even if it will entail some personal risk to your business as well and vice versa. Minsan yung kliyente mo will trust you, kahit maliit ka pang business, kahit hindi ka pa kilala sa industriya, for example, because both of you are emotionally invested as well and you believe in the business or even in the person or even in the advisor of the talent, of the kind of value that it will add in the relationship. So that's why you're willing to take some risk. So sabihin mo na, naku, alam ko na hindi ka pa talaga established as a business, pero tulungan kita. In a way, you can provide your services so that I could also pay you up and that you can recycle that financial investment as well to grow your business, no? So, ganun, it's actually built on mutual trust and may konting risk involved as well. At kung hindi ka tataya, di ba, makikita mo din ng kliyente mo na, ay, parang hindi believe sa akin si consultant, 'di ba? O si advisor, no? So makikita at makikita. So dapat you also have to be very authentic in the way that you deal with your clients, partners, or colleagues. Yan. So I'm sure very straightforward naman yung tatlong points na to that we actually wanted to deep dive. Um, and I'm sure you could just take away a lot of input from here, no? So if there are no questions, let's move on to the next slide. So balik tayo sa Mentimeter, no? So makikita nyo dun sa Mentimeter na una nating ginawa, balik lang kayo dun, very same page. Again, if you don't have it, we can scan it again in this QR code. And then the question that we would like to ask all of you, at this point in time, how would you assess the trust that is given to you by your client? Yan. So kung nagtatrabaho ka, no, pag sabihin mo, madami akong client, so i-average nyo na lang sa isip ninyo. Ano ba yung trust na palagay ninyo na binibigay sa inyong kliyente from a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest? Ayan. Wow, may sumagot na. Great. I'm proud of you for that one who actually responded 10. Yan. Okay, sino pa kayong iba? Para malaman lang natin where we are landing in terms of the trust that we have from our clients. Okay, so merong isa, 8 so far. Of course, there's still area for improvement and development. Sino pa? So we only have 4 so far. We would like to engage all of you to participate because mabibigyan buhay natin tong ating learning this morning if we're able to participate. Yan. Ayan, meron din nagsabi, no, phone access lang daw muna siya. Yes, 10 daw, can't scan. Okay, sige, sige. Okay, so later pag nakita nyo, no, pag tingnan natin, okay, so far we have 7 participants na nagsasabi sa atin na 1 is for 6, 1 is for 3 is for 8, and another 3 for 10. Okay, can we have more? More than that? So siguro kahit 10 participants, I don't know how many we are. I'm seeing here 44, no? Sana mag-participate din yung iba. Kahit short lang para at least we get the lay of the land, so to speak, no? Importante yan for us to really understand our clients, no? We have to also draw out engagement. Yan. So ako naman, ang appeal ko naman sa inyo, no, let's participate in this survey because it will bring to life the understanding of the different concepts. Ayan. Yung iba din sabi daw 9 sila, no? Kasi naka-phone lang din daw. Okay? Do we have more? Hopefully we get more, no? Kasi we have 45 so far. Ayan, dumadami na, no? So we have a total of yun. May 9, may 8, may 6, may 10. I'm very happy if it's 10, no? So very good. Anyone else? So maybe we'll give a minute or so para at least we get a good representation, no, out of the 45 who have joined us this morning. We have 4, 5, 8, 9 so far, no? Siguro pag maka-10 lang tayo, masaya na ako. Anyone would still like to participate at least in the Mentimeter? Yun! Okay, thank you so much. So naka-10 na tayo. So nakikita natin dito, no? Of course, no, we congratulate the 4 of you who've responded 10. Definitely, I don't know, we're so proud of you for gaining the full trust and confidence of your clients. Meron din tayong 9. Of course, there's still area for improvement. Happy din ako because I think 8 is a very healthy level of trust so that we can just amplify. Sabi nga naman natin, this is a journey, this is long term, hindi lang naman to for the short term perspective, di ba? So meron din tayong dalawa that we are seeing na for now, it is 6. Ayan, very good, no? So thank you for being honest as well, being very transparent and being very vulnerable. Vulnerability is very important nowadays. So kasi if you don't know your areas of weaknesses or the gaps that you still need to fill, the less growth that you will actually experience in your development journey. So I'm very proud as well of for those of you who actually said you are still 6 because definitely, as we progress in our learning in our journey partnership, I'm pretty sure that the 6 will become 7, will become 8, if not even 10 in the long run. Okay, thank you so much for participating in our Mentimeter. So this is very important for me because this is also my gauge on how engaged you are, di ba? So yun lang yung masusukli ninyo in our conversation. So having said that, punta naman tayo dito sa very important aspect. This is our lesson 2. Sabi ko meron tayong 3 important lessons. Tapos na tayo sa first lesson, we'll move on to the second lesson. And the second lesson is all about what are the qualities of a trusted advisor, or what are the qualities of a strategic business partner, if you prefer that terminology. So meron tayong 5 essentially, no? 5. So ano bang ibig sabihin natin ng client focus? Kasi medyo gasgas na to, di ba? Minsan tinatawag natin tong client orientation, di ba? Or customer service, right? So client focus. Pero sa book na Trusted Advisor, medyo malalim ang ibig sabihin ng client focus. Hindi lang naman ibig sabihin ng client focus is you're really putting enough attention, putting enough effort sa client niyo. Kagaya ng sinabi niyo kanina, a lot of empathy would have to be used. Really, even if yung mga hindi sinasabi, kasi minsan tayo madali lang naman eh. Pag sinabi ni client, we provide what is said. Pero marami ba sa atin o lahat pa tayo, kahit hindi sinasabi ng kliyente, nababasa natin at nadi-deliver natin? Yun kasi ang bagong definition ng client focus. Yung mga damdamin, yung emotions, yung aspirations, yung vision, and even yung pain of their failure, nababasa ba natin, nararamdaman ba natin? Pag ang answer natin doon ay hindi pa, I'm not sure, o hindi ako sigurado, ang ibig sabihin nun, wala pa tayo doon sa kalibre ng client focus na gustong marating ng The Trusted Advisor book. Ayan. So yes, baka pwedeng when we rate ourselves na client focus, baka nasa level pa lang ng 6 or 7 yan. Pero pag hindi kayo nagsabi ng yes na, yes, pag nag-fail yung kliyente, dama ko yung pain nila. Pag medyo may mishap sila, parang I want to really provide a solution kasi I'm really invested in their growth and development. Yan. Ganun ba? So kung hindi pa ganun, siguro i-recalibrate lang din natin what we actually mean by client focus. Yan. So good, no? So that is the first characteristics or attribute of a trusted advisor or a strategic business partner. The second important client attribute of a trusted advisor is self-confidence. Nako, Eric, bakit naman self-confidence, di ba? Importante ang self-confidence. Kasi unang-una, kung ang perception sa atin ng kliyente ay hindi tayo confident, how can we be seen as credible? Di ba? Yung iba nga dyan, puro self-confidence, nadadala na lang, no? Tuloy ang laki ng ang laki ng confidence na binibigay ng client sa kanila. Pero importante yung self-confidence. Alam ko sa atin, madami sa inyo, very, ano, no, very credible, experts kayo sa inyong sariling larangan. Pero sometimes hindi natin 'to nadi-display, hindi natin napo-project. Kasi minsan, especially kung yung client mo ay talagang English speaking or talagang iba yung dating, minsan nauunahan tayo ng takot, nauunahan tayo ng kaba. So kahit alam natin ang sagot, alam natin solusyonan yung mga problema nila, nauunahan tayo ng takot and it appears that we are not self-confident, 'di ba? So, yun, ang tingin tuloy sa atin, mukhang hindi ko mukhang hindi siya sure sa sarili niya. Parang ang hirap mag-trust. So, if you don't trust yourself and if you don't have confidence in yourself, how can you actually demand confidence from your clients, 'di ba? So, nagsisimula siya doon. Oo, sabihin natin na parang, yes, perception yan, perception management. But yes, perception is reality. In terms of actual partnership, 'di ba? Of course, 'di naman sila manghuhula, makikita lang naman nila is what you're actually displaying. So, kung ang dini-display mo is a lot of self-doubt, then that goes to show that you cannot really expect any confidence from your clients. That's why self-confidence is very important. Meron pang saying dito, no, fake it till you make it. Of course, sabi nga natin, it will only take you so far, di ba? So kung talagang wala ka naman talagang galing, wala ka naman talagang expertise sa mga offer, then definitely that would not last and baka yes, pumangit pa yung reputation nyo at brand nyo in the market, di ba? Kasi don't assume or pretend to be what you are not, right? So, but in this case, if you are an expert and you know that you can put something on the table, pero you are just shortchanging yourself because you are not projecting the confidence that you are worthy of, then you're doing yourself a disservice. You're being unfair to yourself. So you really have to project that kind of self-confidence, di ba? Especially kung talaga ma-offer mo naman what they actually require or need, no? So build on that self-confidence. Number three, ego strength. Yan. Alam mo, medyo may connection yung second bullet, self-confidence, at saka yung ego strength, di ba? Pero yung ego strength goes beyond just projecting self-confidence. Yung ego strength, dito din nakasalalay yung resilience mo and your actual assessment of yourself, di ba? So, minsan kasi hindi mawawala na magkakaroon ka ng, in a way, failure in the early stages kasi hindi mo masyadong nabasa yung kliyente, hindi mo masyadong naintindihan yung brief, or bago ka pa lang sa nature ng role mo to the client's business, right? So, you cannot expect everything to go perfectly well and perfectly smooth. Tama ba ako? And given that, if you will encounter some small failures, some small setbacks, it would require for you to draw deep and really understand and believe in yourself na kaya ko to. Alam ko naman eh. Medyo may konting tweaking ka lang na dapat gawin, di ba? So that's where you need to be resilient. At mangyayari lang yan pag alam mo sa sarili mo kung ano talaga yung strength mo. Kung ano ka talaga at what you can offer. Ayan. Yung una kasi more on display eh. Ngayon naman, yung third bullet is more of inner strength, drawing from yourself. It is really a strong self-awareness na hindi makikita talaga ng kliyente that you would really have to rely on yourself. So dapat talaga minsan dito nagme-meditate ka, nag-introspect ka kasi nakita naman natin sa pandemic, no, kung gaano kalaki ang kailangan nating hugutin sa sarili natin to gain an inner strength to be resilient and to be able to get back on track or to set yourself up and stand even if there are mishaps and failure along the way. Ayan. So, pause muna ako dito kasi sabi ni Luz Ventura, good advisors genuinely care for their client's success and understanding their concerns. For sure. Tama yun, totoo yun. So I guess that amplifies our first bullet, yung client focus. Hindi lang siya basta serbisyo. It's a real understanding of the intimate needs of your clients, right? Okay, so balik tayo sa ego strength, no? So this is really the inner drawing out of that strength that you really need for you to display self-confidence. Kasi kung wala kang number 3, hindi mo talaga makukuha yung number 2 as well. Okay, so that is the relationship between the two attributes or two qualities of a trusted advisor. Let's go now to the fourth one. Very important to any consulting or to any service provider, 'di ba? Yung service nito minsan tinatawag nating statement of work, 'di ba? O ano ba yung scoping? Very important 'yan. But beyond the scoping, we really have to understand ano ba talaga yung problema. So kahit ang sinasabi ng kliyente sa iyo na hindi ito lang muna yung gusto kong ipagawa sa iyo. You really have to understand bakit niya gustong ipagawa ito. Ano yung and why. 'Di ba sabi nga nila, implement, ask why 5 times for you to understand the root cause. Correct? So, if you don't really understand the root of the problem, how will you really understand your client and the needs of your client? How can you become client focused if you don't understand the root cause of the problem of your client? No? So kahit ang ipagawa lang muna sa'yo is the first layer of the problem, at least no, it's also good because in the future, because alam mo yung deeply seated problems niya at the next layer of the problem, you can actually use that as a potential expansion of your business and partnership. 'Di ba? It's a win-win for you. And at the same time, you're able to understand your client deeper. And more importantly, you can even be proactive. Kasi alam mo talaga, yung tunay na problema ng kliyente, hindi lang dun sa sinabi niya. Sabi nga natin, di ba, when being client-focused, you know more and beyond what the client is actually telling or saying to you. Diba? So you really have to have a very good grasp of how the problem is defined. Okay? And sometimes you can validate this with your client. Minsan hindi mo kailangan manghula. Of course, may sarili ka ng conjecture for sure. Pero you can have a session where you really have to have a good conversation with your client to really understand and deep dive into this, right? Okay, so that's second to last. And last but not the least, of course, you also have to invest on continuous improvement. That's why sometimes you have a meeting, no? Tama ba yung ginagawa natin? What is your level of satisfaction? How else can we improve? And so on and so forth, no? That's good. So it's always a good practice because you cannot grow and progress, no? If you continue on just giving what was actually told of you. And sometimes you can be more proactive in saying, client, I guess no, this is the first step, but later on as your business grows, I am foreseeing that you might have a particular need for this, and I look forward to partnering with you even further. Okay, so that's a great way of also amplifying and growing your business in return. Okay, and that is the key lesson that I wanted for us to get. So having said that, let's move on to our next Mentimeter. We'll be asking you, rate for the 5 of them, rate yourself. Gaano ba ako kagaling sa each of them, no? Ano ba ako? Am I able to really focus on my client based on the new definition, not based on the old definition? Number 2, di ba? Am I able to display self-confidence? Number 3, may ego strength ba ako? Can I be resilient na kahit magkaroon kami ng problema, I'll be able to get back on track and come back stronger? Number 4, di ba? Are you able to problem solve? Di ba? Are you able, first and foremost, to define the problem accurately? And last but not the least, are you able to improve on a continual basis? Ayan. So again, please no, join us kasi I wanted to understand where you are currently and where you really need to focus on improving. Wow, very good, very good, no? Ang galing yung yung continuous improvement, no? So far, very strong. You can consider that as a strength. Yung problem definition very important din kasi in your consulting, in your business, diba, very important dapat kung anong kailangan gawin. So I guess nalililang ninyo na utilize niyo yung skill na yon. Okay, medyo nag-ano tayo, no, yung client focus medyo bumaba ng konti. Yeah, medyo naglalaro-laro pa rin yung ating no, naglalaro pa nating scale, pero parang nakikita natin dito yung area for development ng karamihan sa atin ay focusing on ego strength based on how we have defined it so far, di ba? Sabi natin, yung ego strength is resilience. Ang ego strength is believing in yourself, di ba? Ayan. So I guess no, kailangan talaga natin ng a bit more introspection, a bit more self-awareness. Yan. So kailangan pa nating kilalanin yung sarili natin so that we can be able to display self-confidence. Yung self-confidence actually lumalaban sa pangatlo, no? So are we able to display our confidence in ourselves? Very good, no? Pero sabi nga natin, kung wala ka talagang ego strength, that would just be a flash in the pan. Hindi mo masusustain yan. Very good. Okay. So ilan na ba, Marco, ang nagpa-participate so far? Because I wanted for us to reach at least probably 12. Meron ba tayong 12 dito? Good. Let's see. Further. Okay, all right. Because of course, the more participation that we have, the more reliable the Mentimeter will project, no, our current stat, the current lay of the land, so to speak, in terms of the qualities, your qualities to become trusted advisor. Okay, so we can freeze now. Kung wala nang ibang sasagot, definitely I can see that your strength is continuous improvement, and that's very good. That is very important. Sabi nga natin, what led us here might not be able to get us where we want to be. So dapat we always have to renew and transform our skills, our competencies, especially in the future of work, no? So lalo na ngayon, change is actually changing. It's becoming faster and faster, and we have to actually, not only go by the changing landscape, but even anticipate and become even more proactive, a couple of steps even ahead of the changing landscape. So sinasabi nyo din dito yung ego strength, no? Bakit kaya? Bakit sa galing ninyo, sa expertise niyo, why do you find it hard to really have a strong ego? Yung ego in the best sense of it, no? We're not talking about ego as in parang mayabang, di ba? It's all about really knowing yourself, knowing your worth, knowing your inner strengths, di ba? So yan, that's what we meant by ego. It's the self-awareness, no? So it's good, no? I think for us, we really have to spend a bit of time. I'm sure you are all very busy. Ang lagi ko nga nadidinig sa inyo, no? Wala na kaming time, na wala pa kaming tulog, no? Especially sa mga cut-offs, for sure. I can relate, no? But definitely, sabi natin, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. So if we want to be able to sustain our growth, our success, we have to invest time for ourselves as well. Yan. And be at peace with ourselves and actually connect to the actual source of energy, di ba? Yung iba sa atin na energized by, by nature, yung iba sa atin na energized by our vision and purpose, yung iba naman sa atin na energized by our creator, by our faith, by our belief, no? Whatever it is, di ba? If it's good, if it's excellent, it's noble, connect yourself into that, no? And invest time as well in yourself because you owe it to yourself, no? You are working very, very hard and you want to make sure that whatever gains that you have now can be sustained and if not even progress in the future. Ayan, again, thank you so much for all of your participation. Ang ganda ng mga activities natin kasi somehow na-realize ko where you are from a psychological standpoint and your strengths actually in terms of your competencies. So let's move on. I know we're pressed for time, but this is the last of the 3 key lessons. Building trust. No, trust is built through consistent interaction and risk. We know that. I will not belabor that concept. The next one is solutioning and serving. Demonstrate professionalism and client dedication. What do I mean by that? No, so when you commit onto something, when you said that this is the solution, you really have to serve that solution, and not just one time. You have to do it consistently. This is not all about just impressing. Kasi yung impression, madali yan eh. Pero if you're able to not sustain it, if you're not consistent, then nag-erode yung trust. No? So it's important that we are very mindful of these 2 bullet points, that trust is built over time and consistency is key in terms of really succeeding in the future. So, dahil kayo ay mga accountants, I'm sure magaling kayo sa formula and you want to put everything into a formula. So, guess what? I have a great formula for you, no? So, kung meron man kayong isa sa mga slides na kailangan yung iuwi, ilaminate at itago, ito yun. Isa yun. Isa ito sa mga slides na dapat niyo talagang keep in mind, no? So this is the trust equation. And it says here that trustworthiness equals, yan. So unang muna, no, nasa top, ito yung numerator, credibility. Anong ibig sabihin ng credibility? Your expertise, your credentials. Ano ba yung nasa resume ninyo? Ano ba yung nasa history of experience ninyo? Yan. What can you offer that probably others cannot offer as well? That's your credibility. Reliability naman. Di ba sabi natin, consistency over time. Dependability over time. That is your reliability. You have to add your credibility with your reliability. Ano pa yung kailangan nyo i-add? Intimacy. Again, we're not talking about relationships here, no? But of course, professional relationship. How much do you know of your clients? Tribulations, trials, successes, di ba? Pains, happiness, joy. Alam nyo bang lahat yun? Ano, alam nyo ba yung vision nila? Alam nyo ba kung ano yung competitive edge nila? Alam nyo ba kung saan sila naglalag? That is the real measure of intimacy. And every time they feel pain, do you feel pain? Every time that they feel joy, do you feel joy? That is how you will measure your intimacy. So add credibility with reliability, with intimacy, get the sum of it, and divide it by self-orientation. Bakit self-orientation? Ang ibig sabihin ng self-orientation dito, how much attention do you pay yourself? Kasi every time that you increase, yun, Chris, so maganda daw, no, meron tayong acronym ngayon. Chris is your trust equation. You divide it by your self-orientation. So, pag lumalaki yung self-orientation ninyo, paliit ng paliit yung resulting factor ninyo. No? So kahit napakalaki ng credibility, napakalaking reliability, napakalaki ng intimacy, pero sobrang laki din ng self-orientation that alam nyo naman, pag malaking divisor ninyo, kahit doble nyo yung taas, di ba? Yung self-orientation will quickly diminish your credibility, your reliability, and your intimacy. Very important. So ano again ang importante dito? Para ma-dilute yung self-orientation, client focus. Client focus will dilute your self-orientation. Ano ba ibig sabihin nito, Eric? Di ba kami dapat mag-focus sa business namin, sa sarili namin success? Of course, you have to. You have to. But definitely, if your focus really is in the long term and knowing that your client's success would also be your success, you're actually not being self-oriented, di ba? The more that you focus on your client, in a way, naambunan yung self-orientation as well. That's also one way of looking at it. No? So good, no? Thank you for Brother Eli Cruz for our new acronym for the trust equation, and that is CRIS, Chris. So very quickly lang, at papasadahan ko lang naman to, ito yung 5 stages of trust. Especially kung ngayon pa lang kayo magbi-build ng inyong ngayon pa lang kayo magbi-build ng inyong relationship with your clients. No? So unang-una, engaging. Ito yung first step na connecting, establishing that connection, that relationship. May it be a cold call, may it be a first meeting. Establish ninyo yung common ground. Establish the connection. Amplify the connection. Kasi yung pagiging similar ninyo would amplify the relationship and would break down barriers, no? So really engage with them, and again, you will not be able to win this if you don't have enough empathy. So whenever you do networking, whenever you do even calls or in a meeting, remember to always diminish your self-orientation and always be in the lookout on the opportunity to listen. Alam nyo ba, lahat ng tao gustong magsalita. Alam niyo naman yun, no? Kahit kayo minsan, you fall into that trap, no? And the more time you allow your clients or potential clients to speak, and the more that you listen, the more that they become more attached and more connected to you. And isa pa doon, ang balik sa inyo, because you listen more, you get to know them better, you get to know their problems, the nature of their business. So parang nag-invest ka na rin on that intimacy side. No? So it always pays to listen to your clients. Di ba? Listen. When you engage, about 80-20 ang gawin nating rule. 20% you talk, 80% you listen, so that 80% they get to talk. So that establish a stronger rapport. So that goes to our number 2. When you talk about listening, it's not just what you talk about, yung active listening, di ba? Parang, paso na at saka gas-gas na yung sinasabing, what do you mean by active listening? Active listening is actually repeating what your client said, paraphrasing what your client said. No, wala na yan. It's so 80s to so 90s. Nasa 20th century na tayo, no? 21st century na tayo. So what we mean by listening actually is, again, understanding what is not mentioned. Understanding the pain. Feeling the emotion. yan ang talagang listening. Okay? Feeling the joy, feeling the emotion, that is listening. So if you're not yet in that level, then you are not really listening. You are just hearing. Okay? So redefined na siya as we move forward in the future of work. Framing. Ayan. Ano ibig sabihin ng framing? Picture frame, di? Ang frame, ang ibig sabihin nito is having the right perspective, capturing the right setup. So ang ibig sabihin nito is yan, yung mga statement of work, defining the problem, really understanding the relationship. Ano ba ako, consultant lang ba ako dito, transaction lang ba itong business na to? So it's really important for us to really define the kind of relationship that we have, no? So siguro tiba-tiba tayo pag yung kliyente talaga, ang gusto niya talaga is long-term relationship. At saka mamili din tayo. Talaga syempre, it's worth investing with the clients that are really there for the long haul. Hindi lang yung parang one time, big time. I don't think that that's the kind of client that you really want to have. But you want to have a client that will really establish relationship with you as your business also grows. So that is framing. Ano? So number 4, envisioning. Ang maganda to kasi it's all about looking into the future, understanding your client's mission, vision, and values. And in a way, not naman aligning yourselves fully, but definitely part din siya siguro of assessing your clients. The more overlaps you have in terms of your mission, vision, and values, the more that I think your relationship would succeed. Yung ano nga, yung yung company namin before, yung when I was in one of the startup, talagang namimili sila ng magiging clients nila. So if it's not aligned with their mission, vision, and values, hindi talaga nila tinatanggap yung mga kliyente na yun. Kasi it really pays to really select your clients because when you select your clients, you already seeing that, yes, ito lang yung mga kliyente that I would invest time, effort, I'm able to sacrifice. Kasi pag na-select mo sila, yung mga sinasabi nating client focus, ganyan-ganyan, they will all follow suit and it would always be a long-term relationship. And then, once na-align mo na yon, talagang magko-commit ka na. Committing is really sacrificing, delivering on what you actually meant every time. Consistency. There is no room for letting go or failure. Maliban na lang talagang nagbago na yung mission, vision, and values ninyo na hindi na talaga kayo aligned, di ba? So, as long as aligned pa rin kayo, you really have to commit. And sabi ko nga, it always might entail a bit of sacrifice and risk in the future. Yan. So, engage, listen, frame, and vision commit. These are the 3 core skills that you would really need to develop. So you have to earn trust. We talked about that a lot. And then, next one is giving advice effectively. Ayan. Minsan kasi, sumasablay yung advice natin eh. So if we don't develop this skill, and if we did not define the problem well, diba? And if we're not able to really understand well with empathy, the framing skills as well, definitely will not be able to give advice effectively. And then building relationships. It all boils down to these 3 core competencies that you will have to develop in the long term. You have to earn the trust, you have to be experts in giving advice, and then hindi lang to all about providing service. It's all about taking care of relationships as well. Grabe, no? So again, kung magaling kayo dito, may mga forever. And sometimes nakikita nyo yan sa professional relationships, diba? All right, so these are the 3 ones. Last na lang to, no? I think this is the last Mentimeter that we have. Rate yourselves from 1 to 10 in terms of the 3 skills so far that you need to build. Nasa na ba kayo dun sa 3 core skills na yon? In a scale of 1 to 10, ano ba ang inyong level so far? Kayo ba ay magaling ng mag-earn ng trust? Kayo ba ay magaling magbigay ng advice, 'di ba? Hindi sablay, no? Kasi sometimes 'di ba pag sa advice ibig sabihin talagang hindi pa clear ang lahat eh. There is an element of conjecture, there's an element of guessing or supplying or filling some missing information. Magaling na ba kayo doon? And then building relationships for sure. Kasi alam ko naman tayong mga Pilipino, 'di ba? Madali naman tayo makisama, very flexible din tayo. Sometimes nga to a fault eh. Sometimes kahit we're not meant to say yes, napapa-yes din tayo, no? So that's another pitfall ha. So it doesn't mean na building relationship is actually always saying yes. Kasi if you say yes and that contributed to the failure of your client, you failed as a partner, diba? So dapat you are also very discerning on when to say no and when to say yes. Yan. So that's part of building relationship or also giving advice. Yan. Very good, no? So in terms of area for development, so nakikita ko sa grupo na to, we need to really focus on giving advice effectively. But that goes with time. So don't be hard on yourself, no? So if you invest enough time with your client, if you build enough relationship, the more that you would understand and know your clients effectively, and I'm sure yung 6.5 na yan will even be 8, 9, or even 10. Thank you so much, no? Si Jocelyn, hindi yata siya makaparticipate. Sabi niya, 10, 10, 9. Okay, no? Almost perfect na. Thank you. And this is our last Mentimeter. Thank you so much. So ito lang yung mga practical applications natin. So how will you be able to, apply all of these in your workplace or even in your professional relationship? First and foremost, client interaction. Sa bawat client interaction, may it be a call, may it be a meeting, may it be a project setup and whatnot or kickoff, each and every opportunity with a client is an opportunity to build trust. No? So lahat ng natutunan nyo dito, take advantage of all of those to build trust, to build that foundation. Hindi lang yan sa pag-deliver ninyo ng service, pag-submit ninyo ng mga reports. Every time that they call, every time that they chat, think about it as an opportunity for you to strengthen, to solidify, to amplify the trust. So grab that opportunity. Our next advice is, tamang-tama to din sa inyo, no? You are not able to provide an effective advice if you don't know the problem. So maganda dito, or on a positive term, be able to provide solution. Yan. Spend more time defining the problem for you to understand what the real problem is and for you to understand how you can provide the solution. Madaming mga kliyente at madaming consultants ang nagfi-fail, ang essentially parang bigla na lang nawawala sa scenario only because they failed to really understand the problem. At dahil nag-fail sila sa pag-understand the problem, they failed big time sa pag-provide ng solution. Kasi pag mali ang understanding mo sa problem, for sure, 100%, mali ang solution na ibibigay mo sa kliyente. So invest time, invest a lot of discernment, and then understand your client well so that you'll increase the opportunity for you to really understand the problem. Make every client interaction an interaction of trust and make every opportunity an opportunity to understand the problem of your client. Last but not the least, darating ang mga panahon na kailangan talaga tayong magbigay ng concession, mag-sacrifice, mag-go into the risk. Alam nyo, yung trust is not necessarily built on providing support. It is built on providing support and assistance when it matters most. Kasi hindi nila matatandaan na ano ba naman yung expected naman nila na lagi kang magsasubmit on a regular basis ng report. Hindi nila matatandaan na, okay, you submitted quarterly, monthly, annually, or even ahead of time. And that is what I expected. What they will remember is during the trying times of challenges, tribulations, ipit na ipit si kliyente. Nandun ka ba? Kahit wala kang masyadong tao, kahit palagay mo na hindi ka makakatulog dahil ang dami mong kailangan gawin. Pero nung tumawag yung kliyente dahil ipit sila, nandun ka ba? Yun yung matatandaan ng kliyente. That's why it entails a lot of personal sacrifice and personal risk as well. It goes both ways kasi once you invest in that, pag ikaw naman yung mga kailangan, pag ikaw naman yung kailangan ng understanding dahil may sakit ang anak mo, hindi ka makadeliver, may mga technical issues. Saan sila huhugot? Huhugot sila doon sa mga emotional investment na binigay mo sa kanila when they look back and saw that you are heavily invested in their success, that you were there when they needed you most, and you were there. That's the time that you can actually bank on, ito pala ang kliyente that I can really depend on, and you are their trusted advisor. So that closes our conversation. Thank you so much again, Yan and community, for this conversation. I know nag-overtime tayo, but I hope that the conversation actually landed well on you and you can use most of all of the, or if not all of these concepts that we have discussed to your respective workspaces and clients.
Thank you, Sir Eric. So, super valuable. Sabi ko naman sa'yo, napaka-interesting ng topic. Ano yung pinaka-key takeaways you guys if you have something to share on the chat? Alam ko, buffering pa tayo kasi morning, pero sa akin ang dami kong natutunan and screenshot ko na din yung iba. So, if you have few takeaways and if you have questions before we issue the certificate to Sir Eric, again, thank you so much, sir, for that value bombs. As always, napaka-supportive niyan, grabe. Kung alam niyo lang ginawa sa akin yan nung speak ako nung May with Sir Francis, grabe yung support niya doon. Siya talaga yung sumisigaw sa akin. I cannot forget that support. So I hope someday ma-meet niyo siya in person. Malay natin, di ba? Kung tapos na si Sir Steve C, tsaka si Cap, baka sa susunod, sila Sir Eric, si Kino, Sir Felix, and some of the top 100. Malay natin, si Sir Francis, di ba? Why not? Ayan. Thank you so much. And this certificate of appreciation is presented to Mr. Eric Diriegos de Dios, in recognition of his outstanding contribution as guest speaker at the Jumpstart Community Free Workshop with the topic Becoming Strategic Business Partner, Adding Value Beyond Numbers, given this 24th of August in behalf of Jody Chari and Larry Bruton. So thank you so much, Sir Eric, and of course your fellow, I think Mark, if I'm not mistaken.
Marco, yes.
Marco, yes. Thank you, Marco, and the rest of the team for helping Eric to present. And yeah, we have some few announcements. As always, we have every Saturday morning, but we're planning to move. Mukha kasing hindi pa ready yung iba sa Saturday morning. At hope ma-move siya sa prime time. Parang teleserye lang. No? I-move natin sa prime time para madami mas maka-attend. Pero good numbers pa rin 40 and dito tayo lahat. Every Saturday, lagyan nyo na po sa calendar nyo, automatic na po. Same Zoom link po yun, pasok lang po kayo. And then, every Monday, we have Premium Jumpstart for building an agency. Saturday na raw, 9 a.m. So, na isang oras lang. Pero mas okay na yan. So, Eileen, can we have some picture, please? And don't forget to follow Mr. Eric on LinkedIn. My fellow
Yes. Thank you for that. Yan. And nag-ask, meron daw po ba akong tawag dito, blog or podcast? Yes, meron tayo sa YouTube, no? Just search for me, Riego de Dios Consulting or Eric Riego de Dios. Madali naman ako hanapin, whether that's LinkedIn or Facebook. So we do have a Facebook account for our Riego de Dios Consulting, and we also do have LinkedIn account and YouTube account. So appreciate being followed so that we can also share our lessons, no, whether that is from a professional standpoint or even personal standpoint. Thank you so much.
And may mga susunod din kami mga webinars free, I think sa September, may mga upcoming, ay follow nyo po si Sir Eric sa LinkedIn, madami mga free webinars and super valuable na webinar. Ang mura lang niya to register. I think 500 yung nakita ko last time. So
wow. Yeah.
If you share some value today, mas maraming value pa sa paid. Tama ba? Okay, let's have a picture, guys, and we can wrap up.
Okay, let's open up your camera. Open up. Para
Yes.
makita naman yung kagandahan nyo at saka kagwapuhan nyo.
Thank you, and the rest of Bedrock team, Janine, sino pa nandito sa Bedrock? Ayan.
Oo, si Miss Luz andyan. Ayan, sige, everyone. 1, 2, 3. One more. Then Waki pose. 1, 2, 3. Waki. One more. There. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sir Eric. Thank you, Bedrock.
Thank you. God bless everyone.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice
Bye.
weekend.